Hi, and welcome to Turra Company, the mother-daughter podcast about everything. Our mission is to make herstory, aka history, not by going viral, but by doing something that has never been done before in our family. Whether we have 2 listeners or 2 million listeners, we are bringing you our very best, and hopefully we are learning and growing together in the process. Now let's enter into the Turra Company experience and create herstory, aka history, together. Welcome to Turra Company. What's up?
Hey.
We're back. You need some water?
No, I'm okay.
Your junk was coming through a little dry.
For the company that's listening, that is a regular occurrence. Somebody will cough or somebody's voice will go out and she'll be like, do you need some tea? Do you need some water?
Right, because this is your job. It's all about your vocals. That's the only thing that we care about when you on this mic is your vocals. Hey, company. So just a friendly reminder, we only are publishing episodes every other Monday. So if you're listening to this episode, this new episode launches. Let me say this. Our first episode back on the scene launched on January the 6th. So following that schedule, you have January the 6th, January the 20th, and so on and so forth every other Monday. That'll give people a chance to catch up. Like if you miss 1 week, then you got that week to catch up, right?
Right.
What's our show about today? Burnout, baby. Are you burnt out? We so burnt out, we didn't even do the show. So anyway, are you burnt out? Chelsea, you burnt out?
Yeah, I am.
Are you burnt out from like work or just in general?
Or life? Because
that can burn you out too.
Yeah.
I think it's both. I think I'm just burnt out in life and work, but am I going to do anything to change it? No. But that's just the kind of person I am. I can't not do anything.
But is burnout a part of can it be a piece of depression?
It can be. It can contribute to depression.
Like, so do we think that burnout is the first step, and then if you don't get something going, then it'll lead into depression?
I think they can go hand. I don't think necessarily like it's a
either
step.
Or.
I think here's what I think they are. I think they're 2 separate things that can interact with each other. Like, you know how they say you shouldn't put 2 cleaning products together?
Yeah.
I feel like it's like that. Like I feel like it's like putting peroxide and bleach together.
But usually when I'm feeling burnt out, it's a slippery slope to depression.
Right. That's fair.
So that's why I said, do we think it can lead to it?
I think so.
Because a lot of times when I'm burnt out, like, I'll just be like, woe is me, right?
But I also think that the reverse can be true. I think that depression can lead to burnout. I think they're 2 sides of the same coin, so to speak.
They cousins?
I think they're
maybe
related.
They're cousins.
Maybe they're related.
Yeah, so what you burnt out from, Chelsea? Work and life?
I just feel like I'm doing the same thing every single day. Like, I just feel like I wake up every day.
Go to work. Come home. Eat dinner.
Not even that.
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
So how do you break up the burnout? What do you think will break that up?
I don't know, because like I said, I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to keep doing it. So.
But I'm just saying, you ain't never...
the life that I live, and the fact that I kind of like have to overwork myself.
Why? Why do you feel like you have to? Just because of the industry that you're in?
Just because of the industry that I'm in, and just like the things that I want to achieve, and like the things that I want.
Mm-hmm.
My brain thinks that, okay, this is what you have to do.
And it might even be a personality thing too, because I was going to say,
I think so too.
Because my personality type is this: I will go so hard on whatever, and then next thing you know, I've burnt myself out to where now I got to lay in the bed for like a week. Like, and it'd be like, what is going on? Like, and I noticed that about me, that I do that a lot. Like, I'll just go. And then like, there's no stopping it. And then I'll get to a point where my body says, you got to stop it because I'm about to give you a migraine. Your body, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like my body has to stop me, but you know what that means. We're out of balance.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have balance and stuff, that's why I was trying to get out of you, Chelsea, was because you don't have to necessarily change, because you're not going to change your job. You're not going to change your life necessarily. But you kind of, don't you think you got to look at it and say, what's out of whack?
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like for me specifically, there's nothing I could look at and think that there's anything out of whack. You know what I mean?
Nothing at work that you can put more in balance?
No.
Nothing in your life that you can put more in balance?
No.
Well, and what's funny is I get what Chelsea's saying, because like I'm also the kind of person that if I'll just keep going and going and going, but unlike you, I won't even like take the break. Like I'll just sit in the burnout and then just like hope.
But you be crashing out.
Yeah.
Like your burnout goes into a crash out because you don't take the time to relax.
A little bit. Yeah.
And then you'll crash out.
Mm-hmm.
So that ain't good either.
No, it's not. It's very much not. I'm trying to, I mean, that's one of my, like we were talking about last episode, like I want to do like a new year, new me, but I know that it involves like, it's going to take longer than that. And that's one of the first steps is I just need to like take the time to build new habits and try out new things to like force me to relax and force me to like have that kind of balance. Kind of like, Severance.
What's Severance? Oh, that show you was watching?
Yeah,
today?
that show I was watching.
So this is how I look at it. Am I burnt out? From time to time I am, right? Because it's a lot going on in life. Like so one of the things, because I think we mentioned it on the last show, let's just take our brains back a little bit. Anybody who's ever traveled internationally, if you ever really pay attention to the people in the destination where you've landed, is they do not go as hard as, now they working hard. Do not get me wrong. They working hard. But they are working hard with a sense of balance to it, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like in America, we are expected to work, or whatever. Like me, even if you're a mom, like I'm not saying that that's not work, but if you're a mom, you have small kids, you're supposed to cook. You're supposed to make sure the house is clean. You're supposed to make sure you know what I mean? So we put so much of a pressure on ourselves to have this here, where other people may not even be putting that pressure. Like Chelsea, I'm going to say this. At work, you're saying the way that your work life is the way that it is. But is that you putting that on you, or is that your boss saying it's the way it should be done?
It's the way it is because I'm the only one who can run my department. So it's the way that it is. Like, I've taken on all these tasks at work because I kind of have to, because there's no one else to do all of these tasks. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, I get it. But at the same time, have you voiced your opinion and said, this might be a little bit too much?
I have. And I'm kind of in the process of maybe delegating some of those tasks. But I also just know who I am and I know how I like things done at work. And it's just about me kind of letting go of those reins and the fact that I might not want to, and I kind of don't want to.
Right. So see, that's a good point, because that right there, what you just mentioned, I think that's why people burn out.
I believe it. It's the fact that you're just like, I want this done a certain way.
Yep.
And I know that not necessarily to say that you're not necessarily saying that the people you work with are incompetent. It's just that you, as Chelsea, are very specific, which is a personality trait that that we all know about you at this point. Is you like things a certain way.
Yeah.
Either you kind of don't have an extreme like a middle ground when it comes to that. Either you don't care about something or you care about something a lot. There is no in between with you. It's just that you want to make sure it's done exactly the way that you want it done.
And I'm gonna tell you, you know who in this house don't never burn out?
Dad.
Because he'll be giving 2 cares about this dude. I be trying to take a page out of his book from time to time. Because Neil, he is so unbothered.
Yeah.
He has, I ain't gonna say he doesn't have control, but he don't care. He's not a person that has to have control.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the problem.
Yeah. He's in a house full of control freaks. He doesn't have to be.
Well,
one.
I don't even think it's that, because even when I first met him, that is what I noticed about him. He would just fly by the seat of his pants. He gets stuff done, don't get me wrong. But he's unbothered by so many things, where I'm bothered by every little thing. Right. And so that's just like a recipe for burnout. So what Chelsea just mentioned is a good point, because a lot of people, I think, that suffer from burnout will find, if they start sitting back and paying attention to what created the burnout or what brought them to that point, they would see that, guess what? I'm trying to control it. Because I get like that sometimes too. Like, it'd be easier for me to just do it. Because if I try to explain it to them and then they're going to come to me and then it's going to interrupt me. So I'm like, it'll take me 2 seconds to do it. I'll do it. Mm-hmm. But what we don't know is when we do stuff like that, when we don't raise our hand and ask for help and say, you know what, I might need help in this, then we're putting it on ourselves, and that's creating the burnout. So back to what I was saying, when you go to these international countries, you'll find that they just have more of a work-life balance to them. Like I remember when we went to Cabo, our concierge was like, you know, we would talk to him and he was like, yeah, I'm going to go home and I'm going to spend time with my son and this and that and this and that. And you could just tell that he had a real good balance on, yes, I'm here 12 hours, but I'm also going to go home and spend this quality time with my kid and my wife. And then a tropical storm came while we were there. And so the resort did this thing where they were like, anybody who had a family, they let them go home, because they was like, you need to go home and be with your family. But the people who didn't necessarily have family, they gave them the option, and they stayed at the property and just, you know, it was like a skeleton staff, you could tell. But they had them stay, and I was like, oh, what a good idea, because I just don't know if
America would have made you work.
Yeah, I think America would have been like, oh, well, who wants to volunteer? And then when you didn't volunteer, you'd have been voluntold.
Yeah. I think that even happened. There was, I can't remember like what event happened, but there was like, I want to say it was like a tornado or something like that. Mm-hmm. But there was like a bunch of
it was when one of the hurricanes was hitting in
like Florida or something like that.
Yeah, but no, I think it went to one of those Bible Belt states, you know. And it was a factory, and the flood, it was starting to flood, and they were asking if they could go home, and they said no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so then I remember when I first got into the workforce, because I've been working since I was like 15 and a half. So when I first got in the workforce, I just remember how things were, where people, if you had something going on in your life, people would be like, go take care of that. Mm-hmm. It needs to be done. Go take care of it. But now it's like you got to move heaven and earth sometimes to go take care of your life.
Which is so crazy to me that people think like, oh, Americans are so lazy. No, it's not necessarily that they're lazy. It's that here in America, there's such a hustle culture. Like you have to be working. You have to be doing something.
Yeah. For the American dream.
Yeah. For the American dream. And Americans so when you do take the time off or when you do take it, you're seen as like, oh, you don't care enough about your career.
Or you feel guilty because like nobody else is taking off. I'm taking off. And nobody else. Now you feel like the slug.
Right. But in all actuality, life happens. Things happen in life and you have to put your...
And everybody's life is different, right?
Right.
That's crazy. I remember recently it was some job where the lady passed away at the job. She was at her desk.
Yeah. She was
passed away at her desk.
Yeah. It took them 4 days. It was like a holiday.
Yeah, and it took them 4 days to find her. And I'm like, dang, that's kind of crazy. Like
that's absurd.
And it's not nothing on the company, and it's not even nothing on her really, but it's like it kind of, when I read that story, it just made me think like
it's a bigger culture issue than, it's not like a company culture issue. Yeah. It's not like just a personal culture issue. It's a culture America issue.
Yeah, and America has conditioned us to where we think if we take time off,
We're
lazy.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, sometimes you got things there's things that need to be handled in your life. And if I'm dedicating all this time to the job, when do I get to take care of my stuff? When do I get to take my kid to the doctor? When do I get to take my kid here?
When do I get to take myself to the doctor?
Right. All of these things. So it's like, that's why I kind of wanted to have this show, because I think, and especially at the beginning of the year, right? We just all had a little bit of time off if we were lucky during the holiday, or things were just slower. Even if you had to go into the office, things might have been slower at the office. But even still, I just always feel like I have to hit the ground running. Like I never feel like I can just sit, I want to use my words wisely, because I don't want to say sit back, because I don't want to sit back, but just take my time and do stuff. I feel like I'm always in a rush, go, do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time since I just been like, oh, I have the time. Let me put my thoughts to it, because that's another part of it. Are you as productive when you can't take your time and do it?
No. I mean,
so mistakes are going to be made,
and then you're going to have to redo it, and then that takes away time.
I hate
from other
stuff
things.
Twice. I absolutely hate it. So it's like, I don't think America's ever going to be like, oh my gosh, we've messed this up. Let's rethink it,
because it makes people too much money.
Right. And I remember going back to what I said, how I've been working forever. I remember back in the day, you had so many hands on the deck, right? And so when you have a lot of hands on the deck, people sometimes think that that's wasteful. It's not wasteful, because guess what? When you have extra hands or enough hands, I ain't even going to say extra. Forget I said extra. If you have enough hands on the deck, that allows you to put the extra shine to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just polishing the floor, now I can go and have somebody polish the banister of the ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can just, it presents as so much better, because you're able to put the little cherries on top. I can't put cherries on top right now,
mm-hmm.
Because I'm like so busy just trying to get it done, and it's almost like, is America looking for an excuse to replace people with robots and AI? That's a whole nother conversation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they can put the motion to it. They can put the smarts to it, but they can't put the human to it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes certain industries, you need a human part of it,
yeah.
right? And just the way that my brain thinks. So that's another thing that contributes to burnout, is how your brain thinks. So the way that my brain thinks is, I'm not in the now, I'm in tomorrow. Think about that. So if you in the now, you still got to do things in the now, but then you're still trying to think about what you're going to do tomorrow. That's burnout, just thinking, right? Just thinking about it from that perspective. But that's how my brain thinks. So if somebody comes to me and they say, like if you came to me and you said, Mom, I want to bake this cake, and I'm wondering, should I do this or should I do that? My mind has already gone to, what kind of cake are you making? Are you going to do that? My brain is putting the steps in order for you already. Even though you just asked me that one simple question, should you bake the cake? I'm already baking the cake in my brain for you.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because that's a great point. I was just talking to my waxing lady, and we were talking about traveling. And she mentioned,
I looked at Chelsea because I'm like, you're not her waxing lady?
No, she's not.
Well, she called me after her wax yesterday. And her waxing lady didn't do a good job because she didn't talk about post care. But I was with some of my friends, like, who are also estheticians, and Danny was like, "Why am I not doing her waxes? Like, why is she going somewhere else?" So, yeah, I think we need to find you a new waxing lady.
But I like her. She's nice. She's sweet. But
what happened? What? Yeah, go ahead with
back
the story.
to the story. So she and I were talking, and every time she talks to me, I had from when I started seeing her, I always had a new trip. And I was telling her how this year I don't really have a lot of trips planned. And I was like, because
we storing up our money in case they'll pop. We're storing up our money in case the apocalypse comes.
Well, I didn't feel like putting on my tinfoil hat for her, so I didn't say that. But I'm
just letting the listeners know that's why we're not planning a lot of trips this year.
Right.
We got to get our money up.
But one of the reasons why I didn't have a lot of trips planned is because when you think, like, the thought of traveling is exhausting for me. Like, for example, I'm not going to name names because it'll expose me too much, but a tour was announced this week. And I was looking
Kendrick?
No.
Oh.
Kendrick was announced months ago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kendrick was announced. It's a BTS thing. One of the BTS members is going on a tour.
Okay.
And I looked at the dates that are in the US, and they're either too soon and on the other side of the country, and then the California dates don't line up with my work schedule. But even the other thing that I was thinking about is in my head, I was like, even if these California dates still did work out, I gotta fly. I gotta get a hotel. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. The thought and the steps that go into traveling are so just...
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Like, it's daunting. And then
where am I going to eat when I get there? What, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because you're trying to plan out, because I'm not a fly by the seat of your pants kind of person. So I totally get that.
I have to think, I have to think it out, because otherwise I'm not going to, because even if you fly by the seat of your pants, you'll still have to make the decisions in the moment.
Yeah. I feel like I'm a mix of both, like type A, type B, because I will plan out something, but also I'm going to do the bare minimum planning, and then I'm going to be like, all right, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
And I could do that to an extent, but other things need to be planned out first.
It just, you know what? I think if I know I'm going to go to the place a couple of times, then I will be more fly by the seat of my pants. But if I'm not sure if I'm ever going to go back to that place again, I'm trying to get all the bangs for my buck.
My thing is, if I'm going somewhere for like a specific purpose, like a concert, that stuff to me needs to be, every detail needs to be planned.
Yeah,
for me.
Because it's scheduled.
Yeah, like that I have to be like, all right, I'm going to take an early morning flight. I'm going to do this, check into this hotel. Maybe I'll have some time to relax. Then I got to get ready by this time. Then I got to leave for the venue at this time.
Yeah.
I got to try to get back to the hotel. Hopefully, and if it's like a quick turnaround trip, I got to make sure all my stuff is packed. I got to make sure that, like...
Yeah, see, that's not how I one time had a flight that was supposed to leave at 3. At 10 o'clock, decided, you know what? I want to get on that 12 o'clock flight. And I put everything in my suitcase, went to the airport, and was like, all right, I still got time. Let's change our flight. Got on the flight.
Yeah.
I can't... You've also... But then again, you also done, like, quick... You are quick to do a turnaround flight for a concert and be like, all right, I'm flying in that morning. I'm going to wait at the venue.
Literally not even spend the whole 24 hours in that city.
That's...
And I think that's easy to do when you solo traveling. When you with somebody, it's not easy.
And that's why I do it.
Yeah, because when I'm with your dad, and don't get me wrong, because when I go out of town with your dad, which is most of the time when I go, he doesn't demand anything, right? He's just glad that we going.
He's just happy to be there.
Yeah. So, but it's me. I'm like, where are we gonna eat? Because Neil is weird about the eating. Like, if he doesn't eat, then he gets all hangry sometimes, and I'll be like, dude, it's just food. You're not going
everywhere.
You're not going to fall out because you missed one meal.
It's everywhere. That's why
it gets all crazy with this. So then I'll be like, well, where are we going to eat? Because like I want to eat at the best places, right? Like I want to get all the bangs for the buck. Like I don't want to go somewhere that has this amazing place that you might have seen on TikTok. And
be
miss
disappointing.
It. Or miss it. Because you'll be like, and get back and be like, dang, we were there. We could have went to that place to eat.
That's my other thing. Because I'm trying to plan a 30th birthday, not like extravaganza, but I want to do something special because it's 30 and it's a not like a monumental year. It's not like a 50 or a 60 or
what
whatever.
They call that, landmark.
That's a landmark birthday.
Yeah, it's a landmark birthday. So I want to do something different, something I don't normally do. So I want to do, originally I wanted to throw like a party and like do a trip, but now I'm scaling back on the party because I was just like, I just don't want to do it. I would not be happy. The thought of prepping for the party would stress me out more, and then I would not enjoy the party as much. So I've just decided I'm going to scale that part back. I'm not going to scale the trip part back, but I don't even know what I want to do for the trip. And that alone makes me not want to do it in the first place. But I'm still going to do it because I want the trip.
Just don't wait to the last minute.
Yeah.
If you start thinking about it, putting it together a little bit at a time now, it won't be so overwhelming. It's that last minute stuff that'll get it overwhelming.
Stand it. I can't stand doing last minute.
That'll
you know
burn
where
you
I
out.
really want to go, but I wouldn't do it during your birthday month because it's going to be outrageously hot. But I'm telling you, I've just had this bug that I want to go to Arizona.
Again, because we've been before.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. I've just been having a lot of stuff come up on my social media about like, what I've been seeing on social media about trips and travel this year is this is the year of micro trips.
Yeah.
Just doing quick little weekend turnarounds. That way you are getting a break, but it's not like this big whole hassle. You're there from like Friday to Sunday.
Yeah.
That is what I've been seeing.
I need a Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah.
Because the travel day, you can't count the travel day.
Travel days don't count. If the podcast listeners learn nothing else from Ariel's, travel days do not count as part of a vacation day.
Yeah, especially when you're doing a long haul travel. Like if you're just going from here to Orange County.
That's not that big of a deal. But
you'll be there and you still got time. Like I love those kind of trips, right? Like I love living in Nevada, flying to California. That is the ultimate.
Hate driving there.
Hate driving there. Yeah. I won't drive. I will not drive to California anymore. It's a waste.
Yeah, it's such a waste.
It's a waste because you could be on that plane for 35, 45 minutes and be where you at, have the whole day. Even when you leave, you have the whole day. The only thing that sucks for us is when we want to go back east.
Yeah.
Anything past Texas, we're screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Texas is like 2 hours. But anything past Texas, like even Florida, that's 4 hours. 4 or 5 hours sometimes. Detroit, that's 4 or 5 hours. And there's nothing, the thing that makes it so cumbersome is you can't find direct flights anymore.
Not only can you not find direct flights, but it's like there's a part of me that doesn't want direct flights because I've come to the conclusion that I cannot sit for more than 2 hours. Like
I like a direct flight. Ain't nothing like a good direct flight. Because if it's a good weather day, it only takes 4 hours to get to like Michigan.
Yeah. Planes make me, I don't know what it is.
I don't like the up and down. I don't like to keep having to go up and down.
Planes to me,
I just want to be up there. I just want to be up there.
And then like I feel like if you're a plane sleeper like I am, then it's like you can't get comfortable because you know, like you're only going to be on this plane for 2 hours. Yeah. Then it takes you a minute to get comfortable. And then by the time you really get there, it's time for you to land. And then you got to go through that again because then you got to get on your other flight and then you got to go through takeoff and everything. I'd rather just get on the plane, do that first takeoff, be in the air for about 3-4 hours and then come down.
Yeah, it's the best. Like that's when we first started coming to Vegas, because fun fact, when we didn't live here, we used to come here all the time for vacation. We always got nonstops. We never stopped. We always would come from Michigan straight here, 4 hours. And you could sleep on the plane. You could do whatever on the plane. You could party. And once you landed, you was done. I think now the airlines are trying to get more bangs for their buck with these routes.
I think so too. Somebody in the comments, because you can leave comments, people, on Spotify, or you can send us a fan letter.
Fan mail. I didn't get any this week.
Shameless self-promo. Anyways, beside the point. Let us know why that is, because that I would like.
If somebody works for the airline.
Yeah. Inquiring minds like myself want to know why are there so few nonstop flights anymore?
Now, Southwest, they do their thing with the nonstops, but I'm going to tell you, with Southwest, it's got to be the short. So you can get all the nonstop from here to California in the world.
Not anymore. I just looked up because I was, again, trying to figure out this concert thing to see if it was something I could even do with my life. Mm-hmm. They're having like layover flights for California now, just to go to LA.
Take you from like here to Arizona.
Yeah.
And then you go to LA.
Like that doesn't
like,
make sense.
Why am I going backwards?
Right.
Yeah. Why am I going east to go west?
Yeah.
Like that don't even sound right.
And if anybody knows that flight from Nevada to Arizona or Arizona to Nevada, that's the worst flight. I don't know what kind of wind tunnel is in between that flight path, But you're going to blow all the way here like the Wizard of Oz. I hate the last flight. When we were coming back from Cabo, we went from Cabo to Arizona. Because our original flight, we were going to go to Orange County, which was the best. That flying into Orange County is the best.
Oh my gosh, I love
that is in my opinion, one of the best airports.
I 100% agree.
That's a nice airport.
The best airports.
No.
It's so easy and convenient to get through. Security is never long. Like,
you know what? Other sidebar, real quick. Another California, like Southern California airport. I want to say it's like Santa Barbara or something like that.
Oh,
or
I've
like
never been to Santa Barbara.
It's not Santa Barbara, but it's something. It's something else that's in Southern California that's not LAX. Whenever I would go to like Pasadena or something like that, that's what I would fly into, and it wasn't.
It's not Long Beach, is it?
No, it's something.
A lot of people talk about Long Beach too.
No.
But anyway, we flew from Cabo to Arizona to here, and I knew it was going to be some mess when the flight attendant for Arizona said, "Good news and bad news. Bad news is we won't be serving any, they wouldn't be serving us." Anytime the flight attendant tell you they not serving y'all, that means y'all about to have a rocky ride. And that plane turned us every which way but loose. It must have been 30-mile-per-hour winds. And I was like, I kept looking at Neil like, okay, I'm just tired and I'm ready to go home. The trip was so nice, but the getting back home was between the tropical storm and the Wizard of Oz wind coming back, it was just too much. So, but yeah.
We say all of that to say burnout is real in all facets of life, whether it be working or
travel or play or just life.
In general life, yeah.
In general life. So, guys, with that being said, let us know. Send us a fan mail, which comes through to me as a text. We can see it. It comes through to us like a text. It's so cool. Send us a fan mail and let us know if you are experiencing burnout. And if you do experience burnout, how do you maneuver through it? Now, myself, because we didn't talk about how we maneuver through it.
I think Chelsea just said she doesn't.
Yeah, she just keeps going and then all of a sudden it just falls off.
Right.
And I just crash out.
Yeah, you crash out.
Yeah.
And I have to philosophically put something together. Like, I have to go for something. So I have to be like, so say if it's home, then I'll be like, you know what, I'm just not going to do that anymore. So I kind of crash out too in the fact that I just won't do it anymore. I just be like, well, you know what, that's burning me out. I'm not doing it anymore. If the dishes start burning me out, I'm just not going to do them for my peace of mind and make y'all do them. Something. It'll just be, I'll have to take a break. I have to step back from it in order to have peace of mind. So let us know what you guys do when you experience burnout. We love to hear from you. Remember to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Now, let's talk about TikTok.
Okay.
TikTok may or may not be going away. So if it goes away, you won't be able to follow us there. But what about YouTube? YouTube, baby, that's where you can find us. Just because we don't do video, our episodes are uploaded weekly. Every time we upload every other week on YouTube. So feel free to listen and subscribe to us on YouTube, Instagram, and YouTube. That's where you can find us. And until the next episode, we bid you guys goodbye.
Adios. Okay, bye.
Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. We look forward to you joining us on the next episode. Until then, be inspired and enlightened.